So, after that pointless scene, we cut to another pointless scene with all the chicken in the supermarket being taken by the Mongolians to feed their pet monster.
Mongolian? What the hell Mongolian doing here? You Mongolian! Don't you break down my wall! Get out of here! You Mongolian!
He catches up with the photography girl and they have a long, boring chat.
What's up with you? You would do something.
Sarah, come over. I got a new bike.
Okay, well.
Yep, gotta establish her character quirk or else the extremely shallow audience this movie's gearing to won't get it.
Two of my victims.
They make it to her place and have dinner, and we learn where her photography skills come from, as her mom is none other than April O'Neil.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Question game.
Okay, keep your voice down. And we will play. It's a dinner tradition, otherwise we'd never talk about the good stuff.
Ooh, how about the time you got jumped by ninjas and you wound up in a contaminated sewer filled with giant turtles and a rat?
Have you got something else?
Yeah, I don't got much. See, I figured I'd get enough leverage from that joke alone. Since this is the only scene you're in, I figured this joke's not going anywhere. You know, let's just cut to the next scene. And speaking of going absolutely nowhere, we cut to inside her room where we have this extremely boring conversation.
I seem very proud of you.
Yeah, and they're already trying to convince me to go to the local community college in Dayton. They'd love it if I stayed here. Got into wedding photography.
What do you want to do?
This scene says nothing. This scene says nothing.
It's got all these light leaks, so the photos come out.
We're not allowed to see you?
Yeah, basically it all boils down to her being uncomfortable where she is and wants to run away, while he tells her that running away isn't all it's cracked up to be and all that melodramatic teen angsty tripe. When suddenly, the dog lizard alerts him, and we see that he's being watched. Reject my advances, Willies. The next day, he catches up with Sam, and he warns him of the bully revenge, which involves paint in the locker. Oh no, the paint is all over the laminated picture that can clearly be wiped off slightly, and I can't even pretend to take these bullies seriously. I mean, this guy was more threatening than Percy fucking Jackson, and that was a kiddie flick. But I guess they needed an excuse to get his shirt off for the ladies to ogle. We are then given exposition that the picture is of Sam's dad, who went missing years ago, who appeared to be an alien conspiracy theorist of some sort. He decides to run off and chase after Sam. We catch up with Henry as he discovers a pothole in the steel mill, which leads to a small cavern containing bite marks of remora fish on the pillars, and discovers a broken rock. Oh good, now he can turn in the diamonds inside for quick cash, like this movie. But instead, he decides to use the rock to study geography while coming up with a new design for those tattoos that douchebags wear. Hold on, I'll get it. Was that just a sound effect from the movie? Ah, shit, it was. I knew I should have went with Skype. Anyway, the bad guys act like dicks to kids for no other reason than they're the villains. We cut to a carnival where we have yet another emo song in the background. You know, at this point, they might as well be playing this kind of music. High school is such a serious thing. These problems matter. They talk about jocks being jocks and girls being more than just trophies, and I couldn't give a shit. They end up on a tractor ride inside a haunted house exhibit as we see Paris Hilton sneaking around behind them. They get off the tractor portion of the attraction and end up with the walkthrough portion.
Everybody off.
And it turns out that it's not Paris Hilton, but the bully guy finally deciding to grow some balls and act like a real bully, trying to beat the shit out of our main protagonist, and... Okay, let's just cue the music.
Rape me, my friend.
Our protagonist then decides to use his Kamehameha hands to threaten the bully lackey when he catches up with love interest and the lead bully and nearly breaks his wanking arm.
I hope you can throw with your left hand.
But doesn't.
You walk me home?
They decide to amscray on back to her place and seemingly part ways. But not before giving the tween girls in the audience a bit of some squee material.
All right, Mom, I got it.
He then finds the ability to smash lamppost lights. Oh, so he's just like any other bored kid in the ghetto regions of New Jersey. Sam catches wind of his powers and tries using extortion for some knowledge.
You threw those football players around like it was nothing. And the hand thing? My entire childhood has been an episode of X-Files.
So you're basically saying it was pretty much made up on the spot and wound up ending in sheer disappointment. They decide to team up and become allies, while the next day a police cop shows up at his door regarding the bullies getting beaten up, one of them being the lead bully, who is his son. Oh, I see. So he was a special snowflake.
Thank you, Sheriff. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. Pack your stuff.
Henry then decides to hightail it out of there as he finds some of the footage of him in an earlier scene online.
My fighting it never was.
And they start to have a confrontation regarding the squee romance shit as he decides to use his airbending abilities.
Rape me again.
The Mogs, they don't colonize. They decimate, and then they move on. And now, they've moved here.
Yeah, we noticed.
It's those goddamn Mongolian again! Stop! Stop right there, Mongolian! Stop breaking down my city wall, you stupid Mongolian!
They talk about this lovey-dovey bollocks as we cut back to the random biker chick from earlier, and then back again. Oh, Christ, could you not figure out how to make these characters interact with each other without having all these random cutaways? Anyway, he gets a message to go someplace.
Henry?
No, but come here and I'll tell you how to find him.
Who are you? Where's Henry?
417 Willard Court, Warsaw.
And goes with Sam on the road to said place.
Hey, Fonzie, I want you to turn left if you come to a fork in the road.
Yes, sir, turn left at the fork in the road. Turn left!
I don't believe that.
And they are armed. They break inside using his magneto powers as it's the headquarters of a UFO nut. As he finds a piece of Gandalf's staff, leaves a piece of himself behind as evidence, only to find Henry hanging and the UFO otaku holding Sam hostage, and he apparently also has adamantium bones.
Cerebro.
You?
Magneto.
You're the one from the video on our site. These dudes, whatever they are, man, they got plans. But this is real, man!
Game over, man! Game over!
But it's too late as the Mongolians have finally caught up with them and a fight ensues.
John, go! Go!
You shall not... Well, you'll surely not be able to pass stones when this is over.
Come on.
As we experience horror cliche of cars stalling,
Come on!
they barely escape as Henry is fatally wounded. Mention Sam's real dad being a friend of theirs.
Wait. So my dad was...
He was helping us. He was supposed to bring us together.
As Henry dies and turns into Buffy dust, he is posthumously humiliated as his remains are run over by a train.
But Thomas kept going as fast as he could.
we see the UFO otakus being held up by the Mongolians as they're being interrogated on the location of a tracking device.
And I put it...
Which kind of defeats the whole purpose of a tracking device when you think about it.
It was over there, man.
And track their scent with that piece of him he left behind, and make some not-so-subtle commentary on the female demographic's views on the comic book industry.
Cartoons for children.
This is usually what happens when you use a particular genre to write a story meant for an audience that doesn't like these kinds of genres. The audience it's geared to would stay away from the weird alien story, but then you spit in the face of the very audience that's guaranteed to show up. Yeah, is it any wonder why projects like this tend to bomb so spectacularly? The Mongolians then claim the UFO otakus have outlived their usefulness, which they then wind up eviscerated.
Need to talk to you.
News breaks of Four's existence and is painted as a terrorist. We also have a news report on the Heaven's Gate members being towed away, and back again with... Again, what is with this movie and its random-ass editing?
I have one of those. Took it from my dad's stash.
Yeah, well, he better keep his flippers off my stash.
They cut to a special snowflake party at the girl's house, as Sam bumps into the lizard dog and finds a rock piece that matches one of his own in his rock collection. He sees her on the rooftop and she tells him how much she's learned.
John Smith, such an idiot. And they're saying that your dad is some kind of terrorist. Tell me the truth.
But before the third act misunderstanding can occur, she slips off the roof and he reveals himself with his apex predator powers. And they head off as the cops are being blocked by Mongolians.
Who the hell are they?
Big-ass linebackers.
Sheesh, well if that's the case, the Detroit Lions must be getting desperate this season. The Mongolians then demand the sheriff respect their authority and take the bully guy hostage.